What's up, everybody? Good morning. It is the 24th of April. It is Sunday, 8 a.m. Taking a look at a daily CASPER chart today. CASPER/Tether USD over on TradingView for the charting website. Up here, upper left-hand side, you can see the pair we're using, and we are on TradingView. Go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel if you have not yet done so. A lot of the viewers, 70 or so percent, not yet subscribed. So go ahead and consider doing so. Greatly appreciate all you guys. So what are we looking at today? Today we're going to look at when price is stagnant, when price stays sideways for too long, a large move follows. And there's a couple of different areas on the CASPER chart that we will take a deeper dive here and show you what we are talking about here. So when price goes sideways and consolidates, it will not do so forever. So what we have over here back in, looks like July, August time frame of last year, we have this consolidation period here. Perhaps it's about a month or so. And then what follows is a big break to the upside. So that is example number one, that price will not consolidate, go sideways forever. It will start to move in either an up or downward direction. Heading over to this area here, we have another example of CASPER trending sideways for, let's see here, the 11th of December over to January. So about another month. And then what does the price do? Price moves out of that range and downward. Heading over to some more recent times here. We have these. This is a little bit less of a perfect example, but it is still an example. Price basically chops around and then breaks out of that range and heads to the downside. And then we have another little one here, although small, still valid. And then where are we at right now? That is the key factor here. So here we are. It looks like the 7th. So we're not quite a month trading sideways, but it won't be too much longer, and we will be trading sideways for a month. What is to follow here? Do we get a move to the upside, taking out these highs over in here, or do we get a move to the downside, retesting this 5 to perhaps 3 cent level for CASPER? That is the big question. So far, I still have valid reasons to believe that CASPER will continue higher, since we are still in a uptrend. We still have higher lows, higher highs, and so far this is nothing but a higher low. It's a higher low, so the uptrend is still intact, and it also is a basing structure. Now, whether it does something like this and breaks down to the downside, we'll have to find out, or does it continue higher from here? That is the big question, and we don't really know what will happen here, besides that we do know that the uptrend is still in play because we didn't undercut this low. So that is what we're sticking with for now. We're not short-term trading CASPER, so although it does still matter, it doesn't matter as much for us. We're not trying to get in and get out at small increments in and around this 6 to 8 cent range or so. Definitely long from lower prices, but it would be nice to see this thing continue higher. We do have much higher price targets for CASPER looking out, but for right now we just need to get above this high over here and above the 200-day, which is right there on the chart. So that is kind of what I see here. But basically you can see when price is stuck in these trading boxes, these ranges, it doesn't stay in that range forever. At some point it moves out, and you can see it both it moves out to the upside and it both moves out to the downside if we zoom out over in here. Now we don't have too much data for CASPER, just about a year or so, but we work with what we got. So you can see this box, it broke out to the upside, and then it actually turned that into support. So this upper box turned into support for this whole time over here. Eventually turned back into resistance. And right now we're in a little battle zone. It's trying to turn that back into support and head higher. The overall market's getting hit pretty hard. Bitcoin futures on Friday got hit real hard. Stock market futures got hit hard Friday afternoon. CASPER, not too bad, just continues to trade sideways. XRP, on the other hand, still finding trouble over at 76 cents, like I had mentioned. Check that video out from yesterday. So keep your eye here on this. Let me clean this up. Keep your eye on where we're trading at now. Let me get a little bit of a closer, cleaned up view here. So we'll take basically right there, and then we'll trade down to into here. So basically this is our trading box range here. Now you could add the candle wicks in if you'd like. I'm not going to, but you could. So the question is, how long, how far do we trade sideways for? Well, let's see. So if we start here on the 7th, so roughly a month would get us right over to here. That would be 1 month, April 7th to May 7th, right here. So you can see there is quite a bit of days left to get over to that if we are going to match what some of the other sideways consolidation boxes were, which were a month. Probably won't be the same. Could be a little less, could be a little more. But depends. The overall markets do have a lot of weight on these smaller projects here, so definitely CASPER being one of those. But so far, still in an uptrend, so no reason to think not. If we do get a break to the downside, we'll see if we double bottom this low here. If we test this low, which is, let's see here, this low is exactly 678. Let me get a different tool on my screen here. We'll see if we double bottom right here, or do we undercut that low and put in a lower low, and that would cancel the uptrend. Now it could be a shakeout, but if we get a strong close down there, not good. We'll probably be heading back down for these lows, and then perhaps down to that 3 cent low if the markets really get hit. Excuse me, really get hit, which is way down in here. So kind of a short-term approach here on CASPER, but big trends unfold in small trends, and perhaps that's what we're seeing here. There's a lot of overhead resistance up in here, and you can see we really bumped our head. 1, with all this overhead resistance. 2, with also the 200-day moving average. But so far, we are in a uptrend, and this is just an odd sideways consolidation, and perhaps we do head higher once these markets iron themselves out. But both scenarios, so far we are at a higher low. Of course, that could change, but until that does, no reason to think we're not slowly getting ourselves out of here, back up into higher prices, back up to into an uptrend, and we want to see above this high, and we want to see above the 200-day. So just keep your eye out on that. And like I said, all the way to May 7th would be a 1-month consolidation. So definitely a couple weeks left until that would play out. So just a couple quick thoughts on CASPER. Nothing too crazy, really not too much to talk about, discuss. Just kind of what I see on the charts. Figured I would share it with you. You can throw those boxes on your chart. If you're on TradingView over here in the, well, I'm in the brush tool, looks like the 4th tool down, go to the rectangle, and you can draw those, click and drag and let go, draw those on your chart, and keep it visual on basing structures and so on. Also good to, if you want to draw like areas of support in a box anyways, you could do that. You could see that when we double bottomed, which I mentioned a while ago, we found support right at the top of that box, which correlates with this old bottom over here. Bunch of different ways to use it. But yeah, it's over there, 4th tool down. So check that out. All right, guys, like I said, consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Links down in the video description, as always, does help support the channel. And let me know your thoughts down in the video comments, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Let's see how long this thing consolidates. Do we break lower? Do we break higher? You let me know. It does seem like right now the path of least resistance would be a break to the downside. And we could see that, and we could break down quite a bit and still not undercut that low. We could break all the way down into this high 6 range, and that would still be a higher low. And then perhaps we reverse. But something, excuse me, positive that I do see here is a lot of the other cryptos got hit real hard. Friday, Saturday, and CASPER being one of those held up strong. It basically just traded flat and sideways, which is good. Excuse me. It's it's showing strength when the rest of the markets got hit real hard, which could be a bullish thing. Now, we could be just seeing something like this area over here, where it just has a mind of its own and then eventually drops off a cliff. We do not know if we're seeing that, but it sure does look like a pattern like this, where we put in that high, reversed hard, traded down, traded sideways just to wait for that next leg down. So before we wrap this video up, let me actually show you this because it's quite similar. Rally up, big reversal off the top. Okay. Rally up, big reversal off the top. Traded down, traded down. Now we're consolidating here. Let's call this the 14th of December over to whatever, the 17th of January. So there we go again, that month time frame. So like I said, that would get us over to May 7th, which is like right there. Pretty eerie how close that is. And that reversal candle off the top is very, very similar after a large move to the upside. So do we see that lower move take place? We'll have to see. It does look very similar, so definitely keep that in mind. It's quite rare, too, that a basing structure like this, although it is a higher low, does break to the upside. Usually that higher low will come in quite quick, like it did over here. You'll get a sharp move up, a pullback, and then that next leg higher. It's rare to see that a choppy month-long sideways lower high that breaks to a move higher. But of course it could happen. And if we actually just take a big zoom out here, we're in one of those giant consolidations as a whole here for CASPER. This whole thing is one giant consolidation broken down into smaller consolidations. So anything inside this box is nothing but noise, and at some point we'll see a break above here anyways. So that is definitely a zoomed out look. Just my thoughts here on CASPER. And all right, guys, gonna wrap it up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.